Here's a summary of new laws affecting divorce and family law that were created by the Utah State Legislature in 2022. House Bill 122, first substitute, entitled Family Terminology Amendments. This bill amended language regarding marriage and legitimacy and makes technical and conforming changes. That means terms like legitimate or illegitimate in the context of children born out of wedlock have been replaced with the term legally recognized relationship. As I've always said, why use one word when you can use three? And as I've also always said, I know how to prevent stigmas attached to words. Change the word. Look how well that's worked in the past. Your tax dollars at work. House Bill 175, entitled Protection of Animals Amendments. Your tax dollars at work again. This bill modified the definition of emotional distress related to the offense of stalking to include significant mental or psychological suffering resulting from harm to a household pet. But wait, there's more. It also provides that protection of an animal can be requested in certain protective order request forms and protective orders, and it permits the court, when issuing certain protective orders, to enjoin the respondent from injuring, threaten to injure, or taking possession of certain animals. House Bill 231, first substitute, entitled Fishing and Hunting Restrictions for Non-Payment of Child Support. This bill amended the restrictions for a license, permit, or tag related to hunting or fishing when an individual is delinquent in child support, and makes certain accommodations for obtaining a hunting or fishing license if a child support payor is temporarily unable to pay child support due to a transition to new employment. That's not bad. Senate Bill 74, third substitute, entitled Alimony Modifications. Now this is great stuff. This bill defined the term length of the marriage to mean the number of years from the day on which the parties are legally married to the day on which the petition for divorce is filed with the court, rather than just having it be the date the decree of divorce is finally entered 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 years later. It provides that if a party is ordered to pay temporary alimony during the pendency of the divorce action, the period of time that the party pays temporary alimony shall be counted toward the period of time for which the party is ordered to pay alimony on a more permanent basis after the decree of divorce. It also provides that if a party establishes that a current spouse cohabits with another individual during the pendency of the divorce action, the court may or may not order the party to pay temporary alimony to the current spouse and shall terminate any order that the party pay temporary alimony to the current spouse. Senate Bill 85, fourth substitute, entitled Protective Order and Civil Stalking Injunction Expungement. This bill defined terms relating to the expungement of protective orders and stalking injunctions. It makes statutory provisions for the expungement of protective orders and stalking injunctions retroactive, allows for the expungement of certain protective orders and stalking injunctions, provides the requirements for expunging and certain protective orders and stalking injunctions, and addresses the distribution and effect of an order for expungement of certain protective orders and stalking injunctions. It's about time. If the courts are going to hand out protective orders and civil stalking injunctions like stale candy, consistently flout the preponderance of evidence standard in favor of a better safe than sorry standard, then the least the government can do is provide a way to expunge so that so many falsely imposed protective orders can be erased. Senate Bill 164, entitled Marriage Solemnization Amendments. This bill amended the list of individuals authorized to solemnize a marriage or to perform an official marriage ceremony to include the state attorney general, the state treasurer, the state auditor, and members of the state's congressional delegation. Yeah, that's right. After all, haven't we all felt it just plain common sense that the state treasurer, the state auditor, and members of the state's congressional delegation ought to have the power to perform wedding ceremonies? I mean, how did we get along without it to this point? Senate Bill 217, entitled Protective Order Revisions. This bill clarifies that a protective order or civil stalking injunction may be filed in the county where a party is temporarily domiciled and makes technical and conforming changes. Senate Bill 242, first substitute, entitled Child Support Amendments. This bill modifies the child support tables and provides the effective dates of those new child support tables. Senate Bill 243, first substitute, entitled Parent Time Amendments. This bill defines some terms and modifies and clarifies parent time schedules. More particularly, it specifies transfer time for the children on the Christmas holiday as being December 27th at 7 p.m. and creates summer parent time notice dates of May 1st and May 15th.